In today's video, we're going to show you why everything changes 5 years before retirement. At Rubino & Lang Wealth Partners, we've learned that the 5-year mark is the most sensitive period before retirement, and a wrong move can seriously put your ideal retirement future in danger. So to help you better prepare, we'll talk with John Conley, an investment advisor representative and a partner here at the firm, who's going to share a real client story that shows the exact steps we took to help them plan 5 years before their retirement. Let's get right into it. John, take it away. All right, John, before we get into this client story, can you share with us a few points that a person needs to consider when they are approaching or are within that 5-year window until retirement?
Yeah, that 5-year window before retirement is very crucial in the retirement planning process. And some of the things that you want to consider is taking a look at tax planning, like take a review of Roth conversions, maybe take a portion of your money from an IRA, convert it to a Roth IRA. We want to rebalance a portfolio, taking a look at your asset allocation, your risk tolerance, your risk capacity, making sure that your overall portfolio is in line with what your long-term goals are.
So now let's go into a client situation. So if we talk about Mark and Susan, they have a combined savings of $750,000 in 401ks, IRAs, and brokerage accounts. Can you go into a little bit more about their concerns heading into retirement?
Yeah, just as most people that we come across who sit down with us for their retirement planning, most people are concerned about, how do we prepare for market downturns as we're entering that retirement red zone, so to say. A lot of people ask the same question. Are we saving enough? Should we pay off our mortgage? Are we maximizing our Social Security benefits? And are we saving enough for healthcare, so to say?
What makes this so important 5 years before retirement?
Well, what makes it so important is that 5 years allows us enough time to take a really good look at what the situation is and how they envision what their retirement looks like. Each person's a little bit different, but 5 years will allow us to make the necessary adjustments within their portfolios. Let's say they haven't saved enough. So it might allow us to maximize their 401k contributions. It will allow us to take advantage of the catch-up provisions within their portfolio. 5 years allows us to make the necessary adjustments that will have a long-term effect on their overall long-term picture of their retirement.
What are the consequences of ignoring all of this 5 years before retirement?
Well, ignoring it or failing to take advantage of the 5-year window, make it so that you didn't take advantage of tax strategies and lead into maybe a higher tax payments during your retirement years. You may have missed the opportunity to do a Roth conversions at a lower tax rate. Failing to rebalance your portfolio may increase your chances of sequence of returns risk. Sequence of returns risk is when the market is decreasing in the early part of your retirement years. Let's discuss how we help them optimize their plan. The way we help them optimize their plan, first place, is that we put a plan in place where there was not a plan. We wanted to make sure that we understood who Mark and Susan was, how they envisioned their retirement to look. And then from there, we came up with a strategy on our financial plan. And in that strategy, we take a look at, we analyze a tax strategy to make sure that they were paying the absolute minimum amount in income taxes. And we mapped out a plan for when Mark and Susan should take their Social Security benefits to maximize that benefit. And then we took a look at when they may need extra income and the best time they should take it. They wanted to travel in the early part of their retirement years and maybe not travel as much. So in the beginning of the plan, we had more income coming out of their plan to make sure that we budgeted for those extra trips in the early part when they were healthy enough. Then we took a look at how much they saved for emergency funds. We wanted to make sure that the emergency fund was set aside and that was fully funded to meet any unnecessary or unexpected costs down the road.
As you can see, these changes at the 5-year mark have a significant impact on the trajectory of your retirement. Missing out on these opportunities can be the deciding factor between a healthy retirement and financial struggles. So to help you make the right decisions, we've created a questionnaire designed to accurately measure your retirement health. Plus, we'll send you a complimentary video explaining exactly what changes you need to make to secure a healthy retirement. To get started, just click on the link in the first description. All right, back to the video. John.
What was the outcome of these adjustments? Well, the first thing we did was we put together a comprehensive financial plan for them that they did not have in place. And by having that comprehensive plan in place, they were able to see in front of them what the path was moving forward and some of the strategies that we put in place. So one of the first strategies that we put in place was that to make sure that we had a well-balanced, diversified portfolio to match their risk tolerance with their long-term goals. In that process, we discovered that they were taking on a lot more risk than they had to take, and that put their portfolio at risk for sequence returns in the early years of their retirement. The second thing that we put in place was an income strategy. Where was their income going to come from? Everyone has done a really good job in saving money, putting money away for their retirement years, but they did not have a strategy in place to how to get distributions or an extraction of their money at the minimum tax consequences for them. We wanted to make sure that we had an income strategy as well as a tax strategy. And when I talk about a tax strategy, we took a look at when they should do Roth conversions. How much can we do in a Roth conversion before we go into the next higher tax bracket? And we really mapped out a 5-year window of Roth conversions. In the long term, it's really going to save them some tax monies down the road. Also, what we did is because we put them on the right path with the proper portfolio, that financial plan now gives them the discipline to see something and to be disciplined during those difficult times in the volatile markets, that they have a plan in place so that we don't make knee-jerk reactions in a volatile moment. What would the outcome be if they didn't make these adjustments? The outcome, if they didn't make these adjustments, could be that they continued this path of working hard, saving, putting money away in their 401ks, and not taking advantage of maybe lower tax brackets down in the future with their Roth conversion. So they could be paying much higher taxes. They could also not take advantage or even consider what inflation does to their future growth and their future distribution needs. And also, they didn't have a plan in place. But if you don't have a plan in place, you're really just kind of flying without any controls. And by having a plan in place allows you to be disciplined. So without that plan, there's a possibility that they could become emotional about their money and maybe make a knee-jerk reaction in a time where discipline would have been a better approach.
Now you know why everything changes 5 years before retirement and how to adjust your plan accordingly. As you saw in that client story that John shared, using this time to your advantage can work entirely in your favor. However, it is important to note that everyone's situation is unique, and what worked for Mark and Susan isn't always the answer for you. If you decide to use the same strategies as them, you could be causing irreversible damage to your retirement situation. So, to ensure that you have a clear idea of the right action steps to take, we've created a free questionnaire to measure your retirement health. We'll send you a custom video explaining exactly what steps you need to take during this critical period to avoid any disasters. To get started, click on the link in the first description. Until next time, take care.